For women, it's we are taught to please, put ourselves last, be selfless, be compliant, accommodating, reasonable. Don't upset others. Don't rock the boat. Don't be too loud. Right? You probably heard this since school, and it has just become the way we show up. And we don't even realize we're doing this. It's just become part of who we are. And we have to unlearn it to be that lion, to really, and my definition of the lion is to simply be you and however that looks. Be as loud, unreasonable, not accommodating, as selfish without trampling other people, which truly means putting yourself first, and living your life the way you want to live it and showing up the exact way you want to show up in a way that makes you feel good, not in a way that dumbs yourself down, shrinks yourself, or dims your light. So for some, this may be being super loud, and others, it may be this quiet confidence. Either way, it's being who you want to be versus who the world has told you to be, versus who the authority figures have trained you to be, and the school system and the hierarchy, okay, that we all live under that has trained us to just be the sweet little, what is it? Ah, it's sugar, spice, and everything nice. We grow up as girls hearing that be sugar, girls are sugar and spice and everything nice. Well, fuck that. What if you don't want to be sugar and spice and everything nice? I say be spicy and not so nice. So, what's the role that was just handed to you? Who did your role models tell you you needed to be? Who or what expectations do others place on you? I was the perfect mother, the dutiful wife, and the perfect daughter. And all it did get me was being burnt out and exhausted. And I was thinking that, okay, if I'm good, then I will eventually get what I want. My life will work out. But it really happened the opposite. The more I was good, the more I kept shrinking myself to get approval and validation and be who others expecting me to be, the worse I felt. And it wasn't until I started to really, we all have a comfort zone. I started to really challenge that comfort zone and do the opposite of what I was taught and trained to do. And it was super scary. Okay. And this is about choosing yourself. Choosing, do I want to be the lamb that I've been trained to be, or am I going to be the lion and take control of my life? Versus just going by, it's like someone gave you a script and said, this is who you are, this is who you should be, this is how you should talk, this is how you should walk, this is how you should live your life. And just do it and then put a fucking smile on your face and just be happy about it. This is how everyone lives their life. This is what everyone does. And that's the crazy. That's like the mind fuck of it all. I see your mom, your grandma, your grandpa, everyone around you is doing the same thing. Everyone around you goes to work, works their ass off, and thinks, okay, I got to work 30, 40 years, however long till you retire. And then finally, you get to retire. Finally, you get to rest. Finally, you get to live your life when you're old and craggly. What about living our lives now? Right? So we have to choose yourself and start doing the opposite of what others expect. Okay. Just because they expect it doesn't mean you have to do it. You can say, yeah, no, I'm sorry, that's not that doesn't feel good to me. Yeah, that's not what I want to do. That's not what I'm about. Okay? 2, break the rules, baby. Break the rules. You have to break the rules to stop being nice and good and accommodating and pleasing others. Okay? And stop trying to get external approval and validation. And you do that by giving it to yourself. You approve of yourself. You approve of your hair, how you conduct yourself, how you show up, your clothes. You approve first. Yes, it's nice to get it externally, but when you choose and when you know that I don't need it, I would like to have it, then we are not just waiting 24/7 to get that external feedback so that we are okay. We just decide, no, I'm going to be enough for me. I'm worthy. I'm deserving. I am enough just as I am. And we give that to ourselves. 3, living our lives for others versus living it for ourselves. Women have been trained, especially when you're a mom, to live for everyone else. And we put ourselves last till we have absolutely nothing. I remember having young kids, and every day I felt, I'm getting teary eyed, every day I was burnt out. Every single day. It's like I just didn't have the emotional reservoir to do it all alone, but I was forced to do it alone. If you don't choose your partner wisely, and when you have to do all the mothering and fathering and grandpa and grandmaing and everything, not everyone has a big family, and you're doing it all alone. It's no one can take on all of that without burning out, feeling exhausted, tired, and done. And that's what we expect our moms to be. We expect them to be selfless. Okay. And it's when children are younger, it's a good like 3 years of every single day putting your kids first. And the labor, the emotional labor and physical labor sometimes is literally backbreaking. And backbreaking as in, I gotta keep doing this because this is what I'm supposed to do. This is what a mother does. And it's just heartbreaking. And I'm saying you can control that narrative now. You don't have to live by those thoughts and those ideas and that conditioning that a mom is supposed to be like this, that I'm supposed to be like this. Motherhood is just one example of how we've been trained to live by someone else's narrative that causes us to lose ourselves. So, are you living for yourself or are you living for others? And because when you wake up, who do you think of first? Who do you think of first? Do you send your husband, your boyfriend, a good morning text, or do you wait till he sends it to you? Okay. Do you first take care of your kids, or do you say, you know what? I need my cup of coffee. Who are you pleasing? Are you showing up pleasing yourself or are you pleasing others? Where is your time and attention and your love and your care? Where is that going? Where are you investing those resources in? These questions show you where your priority lies. And when you've conditioned to be a selfless, honey, you are a lamb. And I was a lamb, and now I'm no longer a fucking lamb. Tea time. Because I realized that role was just handed to me. That's not who I am. That's not who I want to be. That's not what feels good. And damn it, that wasn't the real me. And if it's not the real me, then I don't want to have any part of it. I don't want to have any part of it. I don't care if that means that other people are going to turn their noses up at me or give me a dirty look. I just don't care. That's the magic of it. When you do this work is you just don't care and it feels good. Like this is freedom. Being a lion is freedom because you choose how to live your life and what that's going to look like and how you show up every single day. And you can choose to do it out of obligation as what you've been taught and your shoulds, your musts, your have tos, your need tos. Or you can choose yourself and you can choose, you know what, I'm going to show up the way I want to show up in the way that actually makes me feel fulfilled, feel good, and makes my life enjoyable and happy and comfortable. Because when you're pleasing others, you're putting their comfort first. You're putting their happiness first. And I remember when I did that, and you know what? I would come last. And when I'd come last, I had nothing left. I had nothing for myself. And our lives, we're not meant to live burnt out. We're not meant to live that every day just feels arduous. It feels like a chore. It feels like, what's the point? Right? Just remember when you were a kid, how happy you felt with an ice cream cone. Like, what if we could get that back? What if we could have that happiness and that joy by something simple like an ice cream cone or like a beautiful day? And there's the trampoline, and you get to jump on it. And that's just literally fills you with such amazing happiness and jubilant. Like the word popped in my head, but I don't know if I'm saying it right. Such happiness and pure joy just for the sake of being there in that moment and living. And this is how we do that. This is how we recapture that happiness that we did that was so effortless as a child by truly doing what feels good to us, by reclaiming who we are beneath all of that conditioning, the programming, the roles, the expectations, the shoulds, needs tos, must have tos, and say, I'm going to find my way back to me and to do what fills me with joy and makes me feel good. That is how we become a lion. And then every day you make the choice to continue to be a lion because you're going to have people who challenge this. And if you wake up saying, oh my God, I care so much about their approval, okay, then what's going to keep you from going back into that tiny little comfort zone where you were literally like you couldn't even barely move? Okay, you couldn't barely move. We have to broaden that comfort zone so we can actually show up fully and brightly as who we actually are and really own our light and our power and stand in that and not let the fear of not fitting in or disapproval or people rejecting us. If they reject you, then they're not supposed to be there. If they don't like it, especially as a woman, I've experienced this. I've been my full, amazing, radiant self, and people didn't like it. And guess what? I just didn't care. It's magical when you learn not to care. Okay. It makes your life so much easier. And guess what? I do care about my loved ones. I do care what they think and feel and how I affect them. But strangers, nope. People that I'm never going to meet, nope. People who pass me on the street, nope. I just don't care. And it is pure magic. And you can get that freedom too. You can get the freedom by choosing to be a lion, by choosing to live your life the way you want to live it and be who you want to be. And it's very interesting. I remember this. I remember like questioning myself, well, who the hell am I? And all these things where like I was like, I really, really want to be that. Guess what? I already was. I just had the conditioning there and the training there that told me I wasn't. Isn't that crazy? I was like, man, I wish I was confident and bold. And I wish that I could just trying to remember all these things. And then after I did the inner work, I realized that was me all along. The things that I yearned for and that like my soul wanted so bad, that was already me. It was just buried. And I had to excavate all that stuff that I had learned to reclaim me again. And wow, I remember those moments of just like, who the F am I? And the key here is to rebel. Rebel against the role, the expectations, against who your parents told you you should be, the role that was handed to you, rebel against the rules, and the thoughts and ideas that you have that I'm supposed to live this way. I'm supposed to put others first and myself last. Okay? That's how we do that by being a rebel baby. Who is here? I don't think anyone's here. No, I'm sad. Oh, hi. I had to learn this the hard way. Oh, no. Let's see if anyone pops in here. And we're back. You're really saying we're back? That's so funny. I usually say, "Back again. I'm back again." It almost sounds like a '90s rap song. Back again. Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Is this from Mix-a-Lot? Yeah, there's Whoop, there it is. I have it playing in my head. I'm a very musical head. I always have songs popping up in my head. It's crazy. And what's horrible is I can't get it out. It drives me nuts. I'm just gonna hang out here, see if anybody pops the joint. Now I have Whoop, there it is playing in my head. Oh dear Jesus. Well, if anyone's here after the live, I want to hear your thoughts, your perspective, your ideas, and let me know in the comments. If you'd like to work with me for free or paid, they are all below. If you want to get actual real results, then I'm your girl, okay? I'm here for you. I've done this work and I know how challenging it could be, but I know and can show you how it feels on the other side. And that taste of freedom is just so beautiful. And I wish more people could experience that because you deserve a life full of joy and happiness and freedom. And that's not what we get automatically. That's not what we get. We have to work for it. And here's going to be the biggest thing on your way. This, your mind. Your mind. When you conquer your mind, and it's a process because I still have thoughts. I still have things that get in the way, and I have to once again challenge it and keep choosing to rebel and keep reclaiming who I am. It's a continuous path of self-discovery that will never end. And it's this beautiful, like unveiling. I think of it like a piece of art. I'm a piece of art that's in continuous process. And it's not going to be complete until I'm dead one day. And in I am creating it as I'm living my life, like it is all happening and it's continuous and it's beautiful. And you are a work of art too. And we're all completely one of a kind. I love that Dr. Seuss quote that says that there was never anyone ever like you that existed, that you are the one and only you. And I think that is so, so beautiful. Well, I hope you've enjoyed this. Check out my free stuff below. I'm here to support you. And I have a podcast that I release an episode once a week. Check that out. It's in the tabs. And it's really to help you come back home to yourself to be the truest, most freest, badass version of yourself. That's how we find happiness by living our lives according to us. Okay? Because no one can give you that. Only you can give you that. When you truly know who you are, you can listen to your intuition and listen to that inner voice and trust yourself. Oh my God, you become just unstoppable. You are so strong. And just to feel so comfortable in your skin. Like a combination of all this creates such a beautiful and peaceful life that you can't get from the outside. And no one can give that to you. Like I paid whatever it took to get this, like a decade. It took me a decade, I think, of work to be able, it's been really 20 years, but I'm thinking if I'm really focusing and dialing in, probably a decade to learn how to do that stuff. But it is so, so worth it to say, I know who I am, I know what I want, and I know what I need, and I know what I'm not going to tolerate, and what I want to create. And that is power. Baby, that is power. So check out the podcast and you will hear more talks like this. So no one's here. All right. I'm going to have a tear. Check back next Thursday. I go live most Thursdays at 6 p.m. Central. Come, bring your relationship stuff, your mental health stuff, whatever you're struggling with. I am here to help you. And I want you to get this freedom that I have that is just so damn beautiful. You deserve it too. You deserve that happiness, that calm, that peace. All right. I hope you have an amazing night. And I hope to see you next Thursday. Bye.